this whole thing about Hillary Clinton and some of the things that she did, like the frazzle drip video and that sort of
Mhm.
thing. Somebody had posted the other day, and I saw that you witnessed some of the things that Hillary uh, did with some of these kids, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would. I just want people to understand the extent to which this woman, the evil of this woman, and what she was involved in.
Yeah, Hillary was specifically chosen by the Mothers of Darkness and the Satanic Council, um, partly because of her heritage, but because of what they were choosing her to do in the future, which was to be the President of the United States and to literally, bring down kind of, um, we'll just say, the New World Order. Um, so I had a lot of experiences with her in Chicago in the early 1980s, which did include, witnessing, I'll just say, multiple murders. So when, actually, it was before it came out and became popular, there were videos that were circulating on the dark web of her and things that she was doing. I can verify that, yes, those are absolutely true. And what you have is that, individuals like her often, because they've been killing so long, they get in a habit where they have certain ways that they like to do it. And so, I call that signature moves, signature killings. Um, and so, everything about that people have heard about that video, that's part of her signature on how she targets, young girls and, um, mocks, humiliates, and, I'll say sexual abuse, spiritual abuse, but I really don't like those words because it doesn't really give people the full picture
No.
of the horrors of what she's done to these girls. Um, we're talking graphic things that people don't even want to imagine or know. That's exactly what she would do, so it's not like she's
She's
just
not the only one. A lot of
right.
people.
There's a lot of politicians and government people, military people who have been involved in these things. And yeah, so, witnessing even the military and high level generals and other individuals connected with the military, who would rape, torture, and kill children for the sake of experiments. For the sake of getting a spiritual gate door open, they would rape, kill, and you know, murder a
And
child.
yeah,
Yeah.
and there is a lot going on with the European royals. I've talked about their human hunting parties where they dress these kids
Mm,
up, or not, don't dress them, they strip them naked and send them out
yeah.
into the forest and then hunt them down like animals and torture them and rape them and all this sort of thing. Some people, their minds get blown by all of this, but I think people need to understand the extent to which the Luciferians are doing what they're doing. Do you want
Yeah.
to speak to some of that? We haven't talked about it in a while. We've tried to
No, we
avoid,
haven't.
but I would like to.
Yeah.
How bad is the situation, and is it still currently going on?
It is very bad, and I'll say yes, it is still currently going on. It's far less than it was. Um,
To people like
but
you opposing it.
yeah, with the hunting parties, I witnessed one of those in 1982 at the Rothschilds' Black Forest Lodge. So with that, you had two kind of situations going on. First, for um, the elite who are healthy, who are well, who are younger, um, they would release the children that they would hold captive in caverns around that area. Um, you know, usually at dusk, and then they would hunt all night for the kids. Um, but they would release them and hunt for them. That would include, rape and then murder. And, it was left to each individual how they were going to do what they did, but yeah, they would catch them in the woods and do graphic, horrible things to them. And then
Mm.
because the Rothschilds have a grandfather tree there, um, it's part of their sacrifice a couple times a year to, we'll just say, the beings that are living beneath the surface of the deep there on that property. And so, they literally would bring the bodies and drain the blood over the roots of those trees, and the blood would drain down and then be consumed by beings that were underneath. Um, so those were some of the things there. And then for the older individuals who are not able to go out in the woods, they're getting older, they will have the youngest children inside the house. So they'd have those who are like 5 and younger in the house.
Walk around the forest.
Yeah, and the
Oh,
the older people would hunt them within the
right.
house or the lodge. So we had one of the youngest, and usually, like with the ones in the house, they would just be raped and used for sex magic. They wouldn't necessarily kill them. And usually, you'd have more of the youngest hierarchy children who'd be there in the house. So, I experienced one of the youngest Rothschild grandsons who was there, and he was one at the time. And, so we would find him and hide with him while all this was going on.
Mm. Man, this is it's difficult to talk about, but we have to.
And on that castle where the Freemasons examination was, there were also, it was in the forest, they had some yacht, hunting. They hunted, I would like to say us. There were more, me and also my sister, and there were more. But it was at night, it was dark.
What did they do exactly on the hunting?
What I remember, I was naked and it was cold. And there was on my feet, I put my feet in a clam so I couldn't go on any longer.
I'm sorry, on a what?
A bear trap, a clamp.
Yeah. Like you had a trap around it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And it was hunting with dogs, not with a gun but it was, and they were on horses. It was with Prince Bernhard.
I'm sorry. Who?
Prince Bernhard, the former
And
king of...
Cardinal Alfring.
Cardinal.
Alfring.
How do you spell that?
A-L.
A-L?
F.
F.
R-I-N-K.
R-I-N-K.
He was a Catholic cardinal?
Yes. Yeah.
And the Prince Bernhard.
Yeah, Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands, the man who set up Bilderberg.
How
And the
old-
World Wildlife Federation.
How old were you when this happened? The hunting?
At about 9,
No.
10 years old, 7. During that whole period it happened. And it was not only in that forest. But they put the dogs to hunt us. And then when you could not go on, and there was that clam around my feet, the dogs, they raped us and they were laughing and putting jokes only.
How many men did this?
What I know or what I see is 2 men, but probably there were more, I don't know.
Were there other children involved? Were you the only child or was the others with you?
I know that I heard crying or screaming, and it was my sister, and she didn't take part afterwards on those hunting parties. But with me, they took me to England, to Wales, to Scotland.
Who took you?
The doctor.
I'm sorry, hunting parties in Wales? And
In Carnarvon Castle, and in nearby Fort Williams in Scotland.
Carmen was here with 3 other girls. The other girls are all beaten to death. One is they put petrol on it or burned her.
gas to burn the body?
No,
No,
when she was alive.
when she was alive, burned.
And one is with, beaten to death with sticks. And the third one, I don't know at this moment what happened to her. And Carmen, she was very scared. She could not say anything. She was on her knees laying, and after that, there were a lot of. She told that about 20 people here around her. One of them was my father, and one of them was her father. And her father, he raped her afterwards.
Here, on the spot.
And this was, you say, 2 years ago?
When she was just 12, it was 2.5 years ago. It was around November,
Yeah.
December 2010.
Autumn, yeah.
2010.
10? November 2010.
Wow.